In their last 8 meetings, he's won the Masters 7 times. If ever there was a tournament made for Ronnie O'Sullivan, it's this one. One table, a big London crowd. No great surprise that he's favoured again this year to make it 8. And of course, that's coming off the great run he's had this season, winning the English Open, the Shanghai Masters, and the UK Championship.
Yes, already won over £500,000 so far this season, Ronnie O'Sullivan. And still big tournaments to come, including the World Championship. Well, he's caught it a little bit too thick, the safety. So straight away, Ronnie O'Sullivan with a chance.
But of course, he was vulnerable in the first round last year. Top players, I guess, are going to be vulnerable. It will be early on. First match of the year for O'Sullivan. Liang Wenbo had the black to beat him 6-4 last year, missed it. O'Sullivan beat him 6-5, went on to win the title.
Yeah, slightly hampered over the brown, and the red pretty straight. Tried to play back up for the blue. Could have played for the black, but he knew that the cue ball could have been on the cushion with that little angle there.
_24th appearance in the tournament. This is his 68th match.
6.
He's won 51. He's at the top of all the stats. You know, you saw Stephen Hendry win this title 5 years running. You thought it's going to take a long time for anyone to overhaul his record in this tournament. Well, it did. It took over 20 years, but O'Sullivan has done that. He's been in 12 finals in the Masters.
7.
Quite incredibly. And, as we know, a long way from finished yet.
Yeah, in fact, some may argue that he's playing better now than ever.
12. 13.
'Well, you mentioned his seasonal prize money earlier, Joe. In this tournament alone, he's earned just under 1.8 million, just in the Masters.
Yeah, what a player.
20.
And had to be so accurate there with his positional play. There wasn't a lot of room, look. And he finished
21.
ideal on the red and now just nudged another one out. Lots of side on the cue ball there to come round for these 2 reds.
28.
And it looks like he's been out there hours already.
29.
The way he's got the speed of the table.
$36. 37.
Didn't quite have the angle to get to the black, but pink leads him to these 2 reds.
Just 1 second, please, Ronnie.
So the pink doesn't spot, so as close to its spot as it can in a direct line. Mustn't touch the reds. Got to get it as close as it possibly can.
43.
Jan Bahas is the referee in charge. Packed house here. There he is. He's taking charge of a lot of rowdy matches in this tournament down the years, particularly at the old conference centre.
44.
Well, he's got the angle to go into the reds. Or he could play for that last loose one. Probably thinks playing up for the blue is an easier option than going into the pack of reds from
51.
black.
$52.
And that's just about right. You could do with catching that red full in the face, and it would send 2 reds towards the 2 corner pockets. Well, it could have been better.
57.
He's on a red to the left middle. There's the 2 reds
Touching
going
ball.
towards the corners, but just a little bit too hard. This is awkward queuing. That's a good recovery shot. What a start this is for Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Well, he's won this title 3 of the last 4 years, and it looks like he's never been away since last year when he beat Joe Perry in the final. And one of the most impressive things about him is his longevity. He's won the Masters as a teenager.
60.
He's won it in his 20s, in his 30s, and in his 40s.
61.
And if he carries on like this, he'll be challenging in his 50s. This black, and it's snooker required. What a start.
$68.
Yeah, how many times do we see the really great players start off with a century break?
69.
It's like they've been out there for best part of a couple of hours.
75. 76.
Crowd appreciating that shot. It was a difficult one, made it look easy.
83. 84.
He is the season's leading century break maker. He's made 46
90.
already this season.
91. 98.
And just
99.
needed one chance here. So this black, it'll be his 66th Masters century.
And listen to the roar. This is what they've come to see. Absolutely superb.
108.
Marco Fu made just one mistake. It's cost him the frame.
111. 115. 120.
Well, we've been going 9 minutes and it's already ominous. He's missed that ping, so the break ends at 120. What a great start for the 7 times Masters champion, Ronnie O'Sullivan, hitting the ground running here this afternoon to lead Marco Fu 1-0. Century, we've had 11 already in the tournament, including at least 1 now in all matches played. Let's see how long that can last. Might not be the last in this match. Marco Fu barely had a look in that first frame.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. As quickly as possible. Second frame, Marco Fu to break.
Well, I think he only had one shot in the last frame, Marco Fu. He caught the safety thick. And that was the end of that.
Marco Fu turned 40 just last week. Doesn't look like a veteran, he's always looked after himself. Wouldn't be one of snooker's hellraisers by any means.
Well, once again, he caught that last safety shot a little bit thick. O'Sullivan couldn't be tempted by the pot. And this time it's O'Sullivan that makes poor safety. A half chance to the corner. Well, that was an unfortunate case because it pushed the cue ball to leave this red on to the right corner pocket. He wasn't far away from the pot. I just come down to look to see if the black will go to that left corner pocket. A little switch to left-handed. And the black must go.
One.
So this is trouble for Fu.
Could be trouble for everyone, I think, the way Ronnie O'Sullivan started this match. As I say, that century he made in the first frame. 47th of the season. He made 50 all last season, which is a lot. But we're only in January, so just shows you how heavily he's been scoring, because he didn't play the early tournaments. Didn't really emerge until August time, the China Championship. But since then, he's won 3 ranking events. One thing Marco Fu has done in this tournament
16.
that Ronnie O'Sullivan hasn't is he's made a maximum. There's only ever been 3. Kirk Stevens, Marco, and in between Ding Junhui.
$70. $24. $25.
Making sure he stays low on the black each time. If it had been high, difficult to get to the next red. With all those reds behind the black spot.
32.
No thoughts of
30.
maximum for Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's just checked the pink spot to see if the pink would respot again. Doesn't matter if it doesn't, it'll go on the blue.
39. Sorry, Ronnie. $40.
This time he's left himself high, so may play a little cannon to the red, to the right of the black, which leaves him on the red to the right corner.
47. 48.
The break's been going 3 minutes. He's already up to the half-century mark.
55. 56.
Well, that's the first poor shot he's played. Played it too hard.
63.
Played for the red behind the black. May have got a big bounce. You never know with Ronnie O'Sullivan because he doesn't complain about big bounces and kicks. But what a recovery shot.
64.
Terrific shot. So the yellow would leave 66 in the game, 67 left. Needs a bounce. And he couldn't have played that any better.
66.
Well,
67.
even by Ronnie O'Sullivan's very high standards, this is a sensational start. Marco Fu yet to pot a ball.
$74.
2 snookers needed. This red will make sure that Marco Fu stays in his chair.
Yeah, 17 minutes it's taken to take a grip already on the match.
And everything just dropping just right
82.
for Ronnie O'Sullivan. Another very good cannon.
83.
When I got here about 11:30, they were queuing up outside already, 90 minutes from the start. Everyone wanting to get in and take the seats to watch this.
91.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, a master at work. Who looks like he's going to start with back-to-back centuries.
98. 99.
And this wasn't easy, this break.
$105.
Another one for the collection.
106.
He just can't miss.
If he takes the pink and clears up, he can tie the highest break. She's currently 139, Liang Wenbo.
He's just playing exhibition shots here. Look at that for a positional shot.
112.
He's not bothered about the highest break, he just wants to entertain.
Settle down, please. $170. 121.
So 120 in the first frame, 121 in the second frame. Marco Fu has already got problems. A rampant Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's leading here at Alexandra Palace by 2 frames to 0. Go when this match started, because Ronnie O'Sullivan here has made 2 centuries already. 120 and 121 to lead Marco Fu 2-0.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Third frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Marco Fu was educated in Canada. Of course, Canada's best-known player, most successful player, was Cliff Thorburn, who won this Masters 3 times. It's Cliff's 70th birthday today. So everyone here, and Ali Pali passes on Our regards to him.
Another fantastic player. Won this championship 3 times in 4 years.
There's not going to be a single stat that is going to be put up that's going to make happy reading for Fu. He's not polyed a ball. He did get 5 points at the end of that frame. That's because of an in-off. He was at this tournament 4 years ago where Ronnie O'Sullivan set the new points without reply record, 5-5-6 against Ricky Walden.
Well, O'Sullivan can see a red, but he can't get the cue ball back to the baulk area, so trying to lay up on this red. Playing into the pack of reds. Played it well. Well, it was a dangerous thing to play that. That cannon was always on and he caught it full in the face. So again, a chance for O'Sullivan. And Fu's safety has been costing him up to press. One inch perfect position on the blue. Doesn't want to play the black yet. Doesn't want to tie the black up. So could play for the red by the black spot, which is perfect and to be able to do, or he could play for the red to the left of the pink.
Six.
This time he may play for the black.
Seven.
He's a little heavy. May have got a big bounce off that side cushion. As I say, we never know because he never complains.
Nine. Ten. 15. 16.
Choice of black or blue this time. Fraction harder would have been better.
23.
This is missile where it is. But everything going clean into the pocket at the moment. There is another red that will go to the left middle. That took the opportunity to go into them, and it's worked out well. He's on a red to the middle. And could 31. This be another century? Forcing the cue ball into the pack of reds there. He didn't have the natural angle to force that one. But it's worked out 32. Well. 98% pot success. I think the only one he missed was when it didn't matter.
Well, he just missed the pink at the end of the first frame, the blue in the end of the second, so the century had already been racked up at that point.
Well, I think he got a big bounce again off the black cushion
37.
There. But once again, no complaints from O'Sullivan. Just gets on with it.
38. $43. $44.
And because he took that red, that releases another red to the left corner. Could have played for the red by the black, but that red opened things up. I don't think he's come far enough. Wanted 50. To be there. So that's end of break.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 50.
So, a mere 50 this time.
Well, it could be a half chance here for Marco Fu. But he's got a good cue ball. Tap on the table from O'Sullivan. Can he get through that gap? He can. That's unfortunate. Marco Fu, especially if it goes in, which it has done. Had that not gone in, then Marco Fu would have had a chance, but terrific long pot from O'Sullivan.
Straight back in again, looking good for 3-0. This was the pot that launched it. Still hasn't actually missed a pot in live play. As I just mentioned, the two he missed were both when the frame was well won. 50 ended because he lost position.
15.
Just this red needed. Well, Ryan Day was 3-0 down yesterday to Ding Junhui. O'Sullivan, a different animal.
$21. $22.
Marco Fu is still yet to pot a ball. We've only been going half an hour, as you can see, but completely one-sided.
Yes, there's nothing you can do, is there, when your opponent
28.
is at the table and playing like this. He played a good safety, Marco
29.
Fu. Got that cue ball tight under the baulk cushion. And Sullivan just slotted it in.
$36. $37. $43. $44. $47. $49. $52. $56.
100 balls potted to 0. And still going.
61.
The thing is, Fu's only had a chance to pot one, really. Just
67.
on every stat you could possibly imagine, O'Sullivan is miles in front, and he's already halfway towards a Masters quarter-final. We've only been going 32.5 minutes. So it was a 50, it was a 74 clearance to follow. What a start by the 7 times Masters champion, Ronnie O'Sullivan, fully in control of this match. Now leading Marco Fu here at the Ali Pali by 3 frames to 0. Did justice of the piece. Maybe he could try arresting Ronnie O'Sullivan, because at the moment looks like his only way of stopping him. We've had 2 centuries, we've had 2 half-centuries from the Rocket. The only points, 5 points that Fu scored came from an in-off at the end of one of the centuries. Just hasn't had a look in at all. I guess if he could get in this frame and win it, then it just makes him feel better going to the interval. But at the moment, well, what are you supposed to do?
Well, he had a half chance, that you said, and it was a bit unfortunate to have left a red on from it. A bad kiss, but he's got to take those half chances. He's not getting any easy ones.
No, I guess that's the question. If he were to get an easy chance,
Thank you. Frame
if he
4.
didn't take that, then well, it's start the car time. Marco Fu has been hit with everything so far. He trails 3-0 as he gets frame 4 underway.
And giving Marco Fu every respect there. He could have gone for the pot, but played the safety. It's called the killer instinct. good safety. Can't see that red down the cushion. If he comes off the pack of reds, there's a red close to the black cushion. That's danger. Well, as David said, the two shots that Ronnie O'Sullivan's missed was the blue and the pink when it didn't really matter. And a generous applause for the safety. The audience would like to see Marco Fu get his name on the board. They want to see a match. And if you don't know what this part of the game's called, it's called safety play. We haven't seen any up to press, but I'm seeing it now.
Well, yeah, the problem is Ronnie's really good at that as well. 91% on the safety. It's the discipline he's shown all season. That's been the key to all the success, not just obviously his brilliant potting and break building, but that discipline. Match against Sonny Akani in the UK really dug deep there, showed great resolve to get the win.
Marco Fu can see the red in baulk, but he's happy enough to play the safety down this end of the table just to have a few shots. Another excellent safety from O'Sullivan. And that's given Marco Fu something to think about. Cue ball not quite dead. So maybe able to get the cue ball back to the black cushion. Look at that for a picture.
Yeah, hottest ticket in town this today.
Yes, not bad. Reds to both middles, but very difficult. Wouldn't expect him to play them. Concentrating on getting that cue ball dead under the cushion. And now that is trouble. That's big trouble for Marco Fu. He's got to think of something now. If he could leave the cue ball in the jaws of the yellow pocket, that could be an option. Close enough to the cushion to make sure that he can't get that cue ball back there. Although maybe able to dig down into the cue ball. Just let's have a look. Is he playing up to the yellow pocket? Doesn't want the kiss. Or if at least get it thin. Had it been thicker, the red was on to the right middle. Another very good safety shot from O'Sullivan, getting the cue ball dead on the baulk cushion this time. As David said earlier, his safety play, O'Sullivan's that is, well, it's as good as anybody's. Well, being forced into taking this pot on, I think. And he's overcut it. So O'Sullivan has won the safety battle. He was forced into that.
Yeah, he was in trouble, and this looks like help yourself time for Ronnie O'Sullivan, considering how well he's played so far.
Well, he's just got to sit and hope he gets back to the table in this frame. Well, I don't know if anybody's ever played at the Masters and not scored a point in the first 4 frames. I'm sure somebody will be able to tell us at some stage.
Well, he has scored 5 points, but it was in off. He hasn't potted a ball. I can tell you one thing, no one's ever lost a match here without potting a ball.
The red's easy enough. It's getting to the colour. That could be the problem. And he played up for the brown. Or the yellow, just to make sure he was on a colour. Yes, he's looking at playing for the red. That's blocking the blue going in the right corner, the right middle. Couldn't get to that red.
5. Six.
He's overhit it. That may have to be the yellow with the rest. Just about get to the brown.
Ten.
Well, again, he didn't quite hit it hard enough for the red into the middle. And this is a difficult one. Again, made it look easy.
11.
But there was a lot of pressure on that shot. Well, would you believe it? It's just
18.
landing awkward at the moment for O'Sullivan. Touch slow, and he had choices of reds. He's left with this thin cut to the left middle.
$19. $26. 27.
If he were to win the title again this year,
32.
he would have won a total of 19 of the so-called Triple Crown events, the Masters, the World and the UK. That would be more than anyone else. He's currently tied with Stephen Hendry on 18.
33.
Stephen Hendry was an unbelievable player, but O'Sullivan's got one thing that he didn't have, and that's longevity, to still be
38.
doing this at the age of 42. Hendry
39.
retired when he was 43, dropped out the top 16, and he'd had enough. O'Sullivan clearly hasn't had enough, as Marco Fu, again from that chair, just has to watch.
116 balls to none. Doesn't make happy reading. Marco Fu fans.
44.
No, and the frightening thing is he hasn't made big clangers at all, Fu. Just the odd shot. I mean, here he was kind of forced into a very difficult pot to
45.
the middle. Because O'Sullivan's safety's been great as well. His safety success, O'Sullivan, 93%. His pot success, 98%. So you put the two together, it's pretty formidable.
52. 53. It's 59.
So a couple of reds needed.
60. 65.
Yeah, it's going to be 4-0. And sometimes you'll see 4-0. There's been a couple of black ball frames. It doesn't quite reflect the play. This reflects the play. Fu has not potted a single ball. The only points he got were from a foul. O'Sullivan could be about to make his third century here.
71.
And this was the red that he was forced into, Marco Fu. It wasn't easy. And this is the result.
77. 78. $85.
Well, he could leave an angle on the pink here to bring that other red into play.
86.
What about that? Absolutely perfectly played.
92.
O'Sullivan at his absolute best.
93.
Just looks so focused right from the start. And this yellow for his third century of the match.
98. 100.
And it could very well have been 4 centuries. He broke down on 50.
103.
Third frame. They cleared up with a 74.
Most people, this is how they dream of playing
107.
snooker. Marco Fu, meanwhile, it's been a nightmare. He's just had to watch.
112.
So the break ends at 112. It follows the 120, the 121, the 50, the 74. They go to the interval.